Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I was experimenting with some makeup. So I feel like half my vision is lashes right now, and I'm just testing these lashes out along with a liner that's supposed to also double as lash glue, and let me tell you, it is extremely strong. And I know my eyelash on my left eye is kind of like flapping in the corner, so we're just going to ignore that, and I'm going to get into my project pan items. So this month we do have quite a few rollouts, and I'm going to start with the most exciting one because I finished it, and it is my NARS Casino Bronzer. Ta-da! She's done. She's dead. So I used this 6 times this month to finish it up because there's barely any left, and I really should have finished it up in the last update. But it took me a total of 69 uses to finish this up. And sadly, it didn't have one of those nasty NARS names like Orgasm or Deep Throat. It was just Laguna. I did actually like this bronzer. It was my darkest bronzer and like one of the only ones that would show up on my skin, but it was a little bit on the older side, so it wasn't as pigmented as I'm assuming one that wouldn't be 12 years old or 11 years old would be. So I would consider picking up... Wait, this is Casino. Oh shit. Okay. So I would consider picking up a newer Casino in the future, but right now I do have some more... Well, for now I do have other bronzers. So I have one that works on me, and I did purchase a darker bronzer without thinking about repurchasing this as a full size. But this came in a sample, or not a sample, this came in a face palette, so it's only 75% of the size of a full size. So this is, I think, 0.12 ounces, and the full size is 0.16. So if my math is correct, that should be correct. And actually, when I was tossing this away, I found my missing lipstick, which is one of my favorite lipsticks. I lost my Laka lipstick, and it was the one that I had planned to wear on my wedding day. And then I found it in the same bag that I used to hold all of the products I'm planning on tossing at the end of the year. So I think I mistook it for my pink Laka lipstick, which had expired. So that's why I was in there, and I'm very happy. So I'm going to throw this in again. I made it in. I'm just going to go in order. I'm not going to go in order of rollouts unless I've finished it, but Casino just happened to be at the very top of my list anyways. If I am going to roll out a product, I will say it as I go. But next, I have my PUR Archnemesis brow pencil in the shade, I think this is just dark. Yeah, dark. So I purchased this because Kelly Gooch said it took her 13 months to use this up completely, and I want a brow pencil that lasts that long. So far it's been about 6.5 months. Let's see my progress on this. I used this 17 times this month for a total of 96 uses. That's both sides. And this is how much I have left. So if I remember correctly, I feel like I had this same amount in the last update as well. I don't like to roll up the skinny side because I'm afraid it's going to snap. But what I usually do with this is I will use the thinner side, which looks like this, and I will draw my brows in, and then I will fill it in with the thicker triangular side. And then I will brush it out with the brush, which I finally washed, so it feels clean instead of kind of waxy, which is gross. But yeah, I washed it, so now it's nice and clean. Except I used it twice since washing it, so it's not clean anymore. But it was very nice to not feel everything built up on it going through my brows. I should probably wash this more often. Like, probably every time I wash my brushes, to be honest. I think this is a good bang for your buck. I am wearing it today, and I feel like I'm not going to repurchase this. Not because I don't like getting my money's worth out of products, but because this is not for me. I don't really like the way it looks. I prefer more powdery soft brows, so I'm just going to switch back to my NYX brow pencil after this. But it was a very nice experiment. I definitely think I got my money's worth out of this, and if in the future I wanted something that would last a lot longer, like, you know, not on my face throughout the day, but as a product I would consider this, but for now it's not my favorite style. And what I've noticed is that I usually prefer natural makeup anyway, so I don't think I would be gravitating towards this in the future. Next I have my very dirty Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpture palette. This is from I think it was 2020. This is like 2 years old at this point. Yeah, because last year was the Bacon palette. I am trying to pan everything in this palette. When I first put this into this project, I had one done, which I believe was diffused light. Yeah, I had finished diffused light, and I was working on the bronzer. I finished the bronzer, and now I'm working on dim light, strobe light, and the 2 blushes in here. For dim light, I used it 18 times this month for a total of 78 uses. For strobe light, I've used it 18 times this month for a total of 78 uses. I've used Vibrant Flush 11 times this month for a total of 43 uses, and Mood Exposure, which is the new blush. It's not new anymore, it was new in 2020. I've used it 12 times for a total of 46 uses, and this is what my progress looks like on it. I'm holding it upside down so I don't blind you with the mirror, but as you can see, dim light and strobe light look like big chunks are missing out of it, which is really exciting because when I first rolled it into this project, there was no pan on them. And then, well, as you can see with the other two, they're just getting flatter, but not as much progress on them. I can, maybe in 2 more months, I'll see pan on, is it Vibrant Flush? Yeah, maybe I'll see pan on Vibrant Flush in 2 months, which is the more pinky shade, but Mood Exposure is going to last me quite a while, which I'm actually very grateful for because I like Mood Exposure a lot. It definitely helps with toning down the pinkness in my blush and kind of like gives my skin more life. And it's interesting that Vibrant Flush has a lot less product in it, even though I've used it less. I think maybe I go past through it more than I do with Mood Exposure. Who knows? Oh, so like these tallies are so arbitrary. It literally means every time I use it, not how many passes I go through with it, because I think my mixing ratio at the moment is 1:1. I'm not wearing it today. I'm going to keep these in this project. I'm actually using dim light, like how you're supposed to use diffused light. So I use dim light to highlight my face because I've gotten so tan. I really like this palette. I paid full price for it. It's like one of the only things It's one of the only things I've paid full price for, and I don't regret it at all because it's lasted this long and I really do enjoy it. So very happy about this. Moving on to my BB cream. This is the Missha Perfect Cover BB cream. I've used it 9 times this month for a total of 29 uses, and she's looking kind of thin. My favorite way to use this is with a sponge, which is what I've discovered. This is an extremely full coverage foundation. You can actually see through it. I don't know if you can, but like where the M is on Missha right here, I can see through the bottle, which means that I don't have that much left of this. Unfortunately, this, like, I'm looking at my neck and I'm looking at my face and they don't match. I probably need to retire this for this point in the year because it is too light on me. Whenever I wear this, I can notice that my face is a different color than my neck and the rest of my body. Probably need to buy a darker foundation so that I can match this with the rest of me, but I really do not want another foundation. And I don't want to have foundation in my collection anymore. I'm actually trying to work it all out, but I did really like this one after figuring out how to use it with like a sponge. It works okay with a brush, but I feel like with a sponge it's much harder to mess up. Every time I use this though, I use like at least 2 or 3 pumps, which is probably why my progress on it has been so fast. I feel like my skin is quite pigmented, as in like it takes a lot for the foundation to kind of like cover my skin under. Maybe if I, well, not maybe, I know if I use less pumps it would I would not have that problem, and that this would last a lot longer. But if I'm wearing foundation, it's going to be full coverage, and also I can't sheer it out that fast with this. So it'll be like one part of my cheek is extremely pigmented, like the spot where I like dab it first, and then the rest of it will like fade in a circle, and I really don't like that look, so I guess that's why I use so much of this. And I just cannot wait to get all the foundations out of my collection. I am going to be rolling in a replacement foundation for this, which is lighter. I am wearing it today, the replacement foundation, but the tone of it is more orange / yellow, which is the color I am right now. This is more yellow to neutral. So even though it's lighter, it matches my skin tone better. Next we have my 2 Milk Makeup cream products. I'm rolling both of these out because they are too light on me. So we have Milk Lit. I've used this one time this month for a total of 3 uses. So barely any progress on this. I think what I'm going to have to do is use this up on my body because there is going to be a very long period of time where I cannot wear this. But it is something I would consider repurchasing in the future. I just want to use it up now because it is a cream product and I've had it for at least a year already. So I'm going to use this up and then maybe in the future repurchase it. When I say in the future, I mean like 10 years from now. And then I have my Milk Makeup bronzer in the shade Baked. This is a mini. I think the other was like a deluxe size sample. And I don't know how much is left in this. I don't want to roll it up because every time, well, last time I rolled it up completely, it got stuck. And I had to like smush it back in and it was horrible. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. This bronzer looks like it should show up on my skin, right? Like if I hold it up like this. But no, it doesn't. Like, as soon as I start to blend, it disappears. Like, where did it go? Am I even wearing bronzer? Sometimes I think I could just use this as foundation, but I don't want to do that because it's actually quite heavy. It feels like there's crayon on my cheek when I use this bronzer, so I'm not as much of a fan of this. Actually, they both kind of feel like crayon on my face. Probably because I'm not used to cream products. I am more used to powder products, which is my preference because I do have oily skin. So yeah, maybe I won't repurchase it in the future. But I picked up the bronzer because I had the highlighter and I was like, well, maybe they'll go well together and I can test out a cream bronzer. And now that I know what it feels like, I am not going to buy those ever again. Or like cream products in general. But I did really like the highlighter. It's just a shame that it's like, it's too light for me right now, and also like, now that I think about it, it does feel a little bit heavy on my skin. I'm probably also going to be trying to use up this bronzer on my body because I don't want it to expire on me and I might as well use it. There are some spots on me, especially my arms, where I tanned more in one spot than the other, so excuse me. I have a sock tan, I have a triangle tan on my, like, it's called your weenus, which sounds really weird because it sounds like something else, but it's like right here. I have a triangle tan here and also my other arm, so I could like use it to cover that up. And then over here I have like a couple of strap tans from my clothes, so I could probably use that to fix it and also to like bronze my legs. I just don't want the product to go to waste, but I cannot really see myself being able to use it on my face for most of this year. So I'm rolling it out of this project. Maybe you'll see it in a future empties video. I hope so, because that means I used it. The next product I have is my Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. This is the Lip Cheat in the shade Kiss and Tell. I did sharpen it, so this is how much I have left. I used it 3 times this month for a total of 8 uses. And I keep forgetting to take progress photos, so Sorry about that. I do really like this, but it is, I think, 2 years old at this point, and it is great for this time of the year. I should have put this on today, except I was trying to go for a more natural look until I put on these fabulous lashes. So that went out the door, but I felt like it didn't go with today's look. And this is a very bright red, as you can see, and so I usually top it with another red to kind of mute it, or I think I just wear this with brighter eyeshadows, like yellow eyeshadow instead of like a more neutral eyeshadow. For those, I prefer more like cooler toned classic reds instead of this bright, I think it's orange, bright orange red. But I do like this. It lasts forever. Like, you don't have to reapply this. And you can see the lip liner coming off as you eat, but like, it's like it multiplies and just like covers itself. I don't know what it is about it, but I do like this. I will not be purchasing from, wait, I forgot if it was Charlotte Tilbury and Natasha Denona. I think Charlotte Tilbury did do something, but I can't remember what it is. But for sure Natasha Denona did do something. So I don't remember if I'm not going to be buying from Charlotte Tilbury anymore. It's all blur. But it's okay. Indie brands probably have better formulas anyway. So I wouldn't repurchase that red. It's not my favorite. I like more... Ooh, I like the... yeah, more blue toned reds and more classic darker reds, or ones that you can wear on an everyday basis. And I have one lipstick that's like that, but that is too, like, I feel like I can't wear it with everything like I could with a more classic red. Okay, next product is my Innisfree Matte Mineral Pressed Setting Powder. This, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to use that before it expires. When I first rolled it in, you could see the rings on it, and then in the last update you could see the pan in the center, and this is what it looks like this time. Ta-da! You can see more of the rings appearing, I think. Yeah. And then there's like a chunk missing. You can clearly tell I've been wearing this with foundation, or to set my foundation. I've used this 12 times for a total of 32 uses. I really like this powder. I'm wearing it today. There's like no flashback. If you see flashback, that's my highlighter. These lashes make my eyes look so small. Yeah, I really like that powder. I think the loose version, I almost said like the pressed version. That is the pressed version. I think the loose version is better if you have oily skin, but the pressed version is better to travel with, which is why I bought the pressed version. I think in the future, if I see the loose version, I will buy that instead, because who's traveling now? I originally purchased it because I thought I was going to be commuting to work every single day, and I get extremely greasy, so I was going to use it just as a blotting powder, but now I'm using it as a setting powder because I really need to use it up, and I do really like it for both a setting powder and a blotting powder. But since I'm at home, I just use it as a setting powder, and I don't blot because there's no need to. Last two products I rolled in the last update. So I have my Smashbox Cali Contour. I think this is the light. Like, there's two versions. One's medium, no, light medium, and the other one's medium dark. So I have light medium, which I should have bought medium dark, but when I purchased this, I was not tan. So I'm working on the shade Shimmer Bronze Highlight. So it's like the more orange highlighter at the bottom. So since I have it upside down, it's this one. My goal is to hit pan on it, and I've used it 16 times for a total of 16 uses. So you can barely see it because I barely tap into this when I use it, because it is supposed to be like a bronzer topper slash a shimmery bronzer. So if I don't want to use too much and then it looks very obvious. And so I've only been using a little bit at a time, but it's okay because it looks really nice actually. Maybe one day I will use it for its intended purpose as a bronzer topper, but not today. So a lot of my products are too light for me. Luckily with highlighters, like been able to color just with this, so I mixed this with Strobe Light from the Hourglass palette, and it is really pretty because you can still get the effect of strobe light on your cheeks, but you get more pigmentation from this, so it doesn't look as strange on my cheeks. It looks more natural, more like my color instead of like, you know, 10 shades too light. And the last product I have is my Bare Minerals Kiss of Rose Blonzer. So I purchased them this year, that's why mine is black. I bought all 3 of these. I really should have only bought one and then returned it because I don't actually love these. They're okay. I'm wearing it today though, and I didn't set it with my Hourglass blushes like I normally do. I think it's because I switched foundations, and this one doesn't hold on to pigment like my BB cream. But this is what mine looks like right now. Come on, focus. I've used this 13 times for a total of 13 uses, and I don't know if you can see, but the pattern is no longer smooth in the center. You can definitely see that I've been dipping into it. Oh, it looks like it's forming a rose actually, but I think that's just how I've been like swirling my brush around in the center. This is, I think, the darkest, if not second darkest, because I know pink is the darkest. So maybe this is, I can't remember if this is the second darkest shade or the darkest shade in the line. It definitely makes you look sunburnt, and it's very easy to go overboard, which is what I don't like about blushes. I like it when I can build it up to what I like, but with my current foundation maybe I can do that. So with this I have to be very light-handed, and I do like how it looks before, like, I think one application before it looks like I'm sunburnt, which I don't get sunburnt very easily, so it is strange seeing my cheeks so red when I do overdo it, and then I just fix it with my Hourglass. I don't really see it being a bronzer. It's more like a really shiny blush, but I'm going to use it up completely because I've opened it and I've used it, and now I've figured out a way to really like it. There's like, my only qualm with this product is that it is very easy to go overboard. Otherwise, it does look very good. So I'm going to be keeping it in, and my goal on this is to hit pan, which is not very likely because it takes forever to hit pan on a blush. And wait, actually I'm pretty good at hitting pans on blushes, but I haven't hit pan on a blush this year. I have used up like half of one, but I haven't hit pan on a blush yet this year. So we'll see how soon I can hit pan on one. It's probably not going to be this. So I rolled out 4 products, I believe. Yeah, I finished Casino, so that's one. And I'm rolling out my BB cream and my two cream cheek products. There is a trend right here. So clearly I don't really like cream products. To replace my bronzer, I'm actually going to be rolling in my Sun Puppy bronzer from Too Faced. I'm not buying from Too Faced anymore. I feel like I'm going the opposite of everyone else. Now everyone's like, oh my god, those two, the founders are gone. I'm going to buy from them now. And I'm just like, the founders are gone. The workers are going to get treated like shit. Even more so now. So I'm just going to stop supporting them. And yeah, anyways. So this is a discontinued product. It was discontinued like a year ago. This is what mine looks like. It is so cute. Look at it. This is supposed to be Clover's face. And don't focus on me, please. Focus on the bronzer instead. My goal is to hit pan on this. This is like the only bronzer I have right now that shows up on my skin. I've tried the one from the Smashbox palette. I've tried the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star, which is, there's no way. It's so pale. I feel like I could use that as a highlighter, honestly. And I've tried the other Too Faced bronzer that I have. I've tried Laguna, and just nothing. Only this one works. And I have it on today on my cheeks, but a very light dusting of it because I was like, I'm gonna film, I can't look ridiculous, and yet I'm here with these lashes. So I'm going to try and hit pan on this. Yeah, this is definitely like a warmer toned bronzer, which I've learned bronzer is usually more warm toned to give you a bit of like a glow from within, but contour is supposed to be more cool tone to like shape your face. So I usually apply bronzer like how I would do contour, like a 3 on my face. So I've already used this product 10 times and I've gotten hard pan on it. I don't think I'm going to hit pan on this very quickly, but it is my goal and I do really like this bronzer. I'm sad it's discontinued, but also I'm not buying from Too Faced anymore, so it's not like I would have been able to repurchase it anyways. Next, I'm going to be trying to work on my eyeliners. I have the Too Faced Killer liner. Wow, everything I'm rolling in is like Too Faced. Killer liner in Killer Camo and Killer Cashmere. So Camo is the green one and Cashmere is the more white one, I guess. It's like a cream colored or beige colored. I really like these. I just constantly forget to reach for them because they usually are not out. So now that I have them in a project pan, hopefully I'll be using them more often. Who says you have to use brown or black liners all the time? You can use these with like those looks. That I really sold that. I used Killer Camo the other day. I forgot what look I did, but I actually really liked it. I usually like to use these kind of liners on my under eye, especially gray one for when I'm doing like gray eyeshadow, but this green one also looks really good under the eyes. So I usually only do like the inner third of my outer corner, and I guess maybe I should draw it in completely, but I feel like that would close off my eyes because I do have smaller hooded eyes, but we'll see. And with Killer Camo, no, this is Cashmere. With Killer Cashmere, what I like to do is draw in a fake cut crease and then like put eyeshadow on top of that, and it looks really good with that too. Actually, this surprisingly covers a lot of, it's like really pigmented, so it like actually will cover the eyeshadow under instead of like kind of shearing it out. It like covers it completely. So I do really like this. I just forget about them, which is why I want to put them into this project pan. I don't think there's any way I'm going to finish this by the end of the year. That would be pretty amazing, and it would also mean that I'm using it every single day. I cannot replace these, so I better use them up and appreciate them while I have them. I do have a gray one as well, but I felt like it wasn't appropriate for this time of the year, or not something that I would want to wear this time of the year. I think it would be better in the winter / fall. So I'm going to give Killer Camo more of a chance right now than, it's called Killer Storm, which is a great one. And the last product I'm rolling in is from Wet n Wild, another brand that I'm not going to be buying from because they are more fast fashion now. They like had so many new releases so quickly recently, so I was kind of like, you know, Wet n Wild does have some of my favorite formulas, but like they have my favorite eyeshadow formula, and I used to really love the Mega Glow. I've panned 2 of them in the past, which is really impressive, right? But yeah, with them changing to fast fashion, it's kind of like a turn off for me. So I'm just going to stop buying from them until they slow down. It's kind of like that with a bunch of brands, so if they slow down, I might consider giving them a chance again. I'm going to work on this product right here. This is one of their lip liners. It used to only cost $1. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon lip liner in the shade 712 Willow. I normally roll this in for my graveyard project pan, but I didn't participate this year. I think I was just too in over my head with project panning and my new job, so I just was like, no, I need a break. So I'm going to be rolling it into this project pan with the goal of using it up completely. I do wear this on days where I go into the office because it's easy to put on and it doesn't really smudge on my mask. My goal is to use it up completely because it is a little bit on the older side. The cap is so cracked, and I do really like the color of this. I do not like the formula. The formula is a little bit drying. So yeah, that's everything for this project. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in a month. By the way, these numbers are, I'm filming this like a week early because in order to edit it and get it up on time, I need to film it today. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a month. Bye!